Hi, friends. Today we're going to talk about moving from your big formal outline to what we call a speaking outline. You'll remember this outline that we looked at this week as an example on how to write an outline. It has all the parts that your outline is supposed to have, with an introduction that includes an attention getter, revealing the topic, and then the purpose statement or the preview. The body consists of main points with subpoints and transitions, and the conclusion has a summary statement and a memorable closing statement. But if you were to give your speech from this outline, you would spend most of your time looking at the paper and reading from your outline rather than delivering a speech. In order to speak in a way that's more effective, that allows you to have eye contact, that allows you to speak more organically, we use what is called a speaking outline. A speaking outline uses the same structure as your original outline. You don't want to just jot notes all over a card that you expect to follow if you're nervous or anxious about speaking. You want to have the structure that will allow your brain to move through the information in a way that's organized. It also helps you to maintain eye contact. You don't want to just write your speech out in complete sentences. If you lose your place, it gets really, really hard to find it if you're just looking at complete sentences. So instead, you want to jot words, phrases, and symbols that will trigger your memory. You can even use a highlighter to highlight main points, and use symbols like drawing lines for pauses or giving yourself hints for delivery clues, like look up, maintain eye contact, don't forget to breathe, or pause. You can also put transition reminders in brackets. Use the structure to guide through the parts of your speech. Trust yourself to shorten or abbreviate words. If you practice enough, you'll know what those shortened abbreviations mean. If you are making a direct quote or using a statistic, you'll want to make sure you write the entire thing down word for word so you don't misspeak. You'll also want to make sure that you put a number on your cards if you have more than one. That way, if you drop them, you'll know how to put them back in order. It will help pace yourself, and it will give you the space that you need for delivery cues, which will make your speech much better. Looking at our original outline here, you can see that the introduction starts with the attention getter, reveals the topic, and has a preview statement. This is a card converted from the outline to a speaking outline. You'll notice that it has some cues like look up, breathe, and it has an attention getter, but it's abbreviated AG, picking up trash for Earth Day. This was the written out part of the speech, but now there's some reminders that I just want to talk about how much trash there was and that I had to change our family plan to a 42-gallon contractor-sized trash bag. Because it's the beginning of my speech, I want to remind myself to breathe. When you take a deep breath, it will slow you down and help you refocus. My son said, wow, people have really forgotten about the earth, and I wanted to make sure that I quoted him specifically. So I wrote that sentence out completely in quotation marks so I would get it right. But then I went back to just abbreviating my ideas. And I made sure not to skip the most important part, my preview or my purpose statement, which is going to give my listeners clues about what I'm going to be talking about. For the body of my speech, I made another card. I divided each main point up into sections, section 1, section 2, and section 3. And again, I used abbreviations and short phrases to remind me of what I was talking about. I gave myself transition clues, and finally end up at the conclusion. I transition to the conclusion from the body. I remember to look up. I remember to kind of review my main idea and to finish with a memorable closing statement. I wanted to make sure to get my closing statement right, so I highlighted it and I made sure to write it out word for word. It's short, so I can read it before I deliver it and make sure that I do it correctly. This is how you move from an outline to a speaking outline. You'll be able to use these cards on your second mini speech and will help you greatly deliver your speech. Thanks.